Welcome to the Rescue's Authentic Networking Videocast. I am Nicole Williams along with my co-host Jennifer Johnson. Jennifer, how's it going today?
It's good. Happy 2021. Hard to believe, isn't it? I was like, how can we not go like that? Yay, 2020 is out the back window. But we're really excited though. We get to kick it off this year. First First interview of the new year is with Angie McHale. And Angie was actually one of our first guests.
Yes.
And that was back, it's hard to believe, almost 9 months ago or whatever.
I think
Wow.
so,
Lots
yeah.
of things have happened back between then and now, I should say. So here's a good intro. Angie has built a business in the skincare industry for the past 5.5 years and has become more passionate about quality, clean ingredients that deliver powerful results for her friends, family, and customers. So, welcome to the show again, Angie
Thank
McHale.
you.
And I'm sorry, I kind of tripped over some of those words. 5.5 years, are you kidding me? Is that really?
Yeah.
Because you started with us in the networking, you were in the skincare and you'd been doing it maybe a year or so, right?
I was.
Okay.
When I met you, I still had a little one at home. She was in preschool, so I couldn't really commit to a weekly referral network until she went to kindergarten. So that was the year that I jumped into TTR. But I had started my business maybe 6 or 8 months before that.
Okay. So it's when I'm thinking of 5.5 years. So now that daughter is in what grade? She'd be in
Fourth grade.
fourth grade.
She's
Okay.
in fourth, yeah.
You probably already said it. Okay, well, I've got to wake up, not Nicole. I've got to wake up and it's 21. Let's get on with it. So what we always ask our guests, first question really is, tell us, even though you were here, they can go back and they can watch the first one, but a lot of things have come up since then. And things have changed across the board. Now I know let me go here. Let me just ask the question and then you fill us in. Please tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and how is this COVID world pandemic affecting your business? So just give us a little, insight into who Angie is and how this whole thing is going now. And then we
Sure.
go from there.
I am a clean beauty convert, and I help middle-aged mamas who are ready to up their skincare game, do it with clean ingredients that are good for you and actually work. And that's actually the tagline of the brand that I represent now. Jennifer and Nicole know the story a little bit. I began in skincare 5.5 years ago with a doctor brand that was very clinically proven, but had lots of questionable ingredients. And I didn't realize this for the 4 years that I was with them. And really just before the whole COVID, it was September of 2019, a colleague of mine in the skincare business came to me with this brand called Ever Skincare, and I had never heard of it before. And I had been hearing from my friends and family how important clean ingredients in their life, in their home, in their products were becoming. And so it kind of made me scratch my head a little bit and think, wow, this may be a better opportunity to offer a more authentic product. And Ever was actually the very first clean beauty to market with clinical results done by a third party. So our CEO was actually in a quest to find skincare for herself and found that over on this scale, you had really effective skincare, doctor brands, but they used any ingredients necessary to make that transformation in your skin. Over here, you had clean and organic and natural and botanical, but none of it was really transforming. It wasn't getting rid of those fine lines and wrinkles. It wasn't boosting your radiance or your firmness or addressing any dark marks or anything like that. It was just good stuff going into your skin. And so that's where Ever got its fame, is that not only are we clean ingredients, which what that means is we follow the strict standards of the European Union. that bans 1,300 ingredients from their products, their cosmetic products. The list in the United States bans 13, actually
Amazing.
14, and it's not banned, it's just made with only a prescription that just changed. But until that one changed recently, they hadn't looked at their list since 1938. So obviously, there are things in a lot of products that we shouldn't be putting in our skin. And what these things do is they can be hormone disruptors. Many of them are known to be cancer-causing agents. And so there's a lot of research out there. There's a lot of people who are becoming more familiar with, maybe I shouldn't be putting this on my skin or in my body or cleaning with it in my kitchen and that sort of thing. So that was the biggest reason that I took a look at another opportunity within the same industry, and fell in love with the products, fell in love with my skin. I didn't think my skin could be any better because the products I was using were very effective. But I did. It felt healthier. It felt smoother. And it just gives you this confidence that not only are the ingredients good for you, but the packaging is environmentally friendly. The sourcing of all the ingredients is all socially responsible. All of that stuff from the inception of a product to the finished product, all of it is done with all of that in mind. And I just really, really love that about the brand. Before COVID threw us a ringer, I guess, for lack of a better term, my CEO actually was an serial entrepreneur. She actually owned 3 businesses. And in January 2020, before all the shutdowns and everything, we underwent a merger. So now, if you were a consultant of any of the 3 brands, which were Stella And Dot, which is jewelry and bags and accessories, Keep Collective, which is personalized jewelry with charms and engravables, and Everclean Skincare, we all merged together. So in January 2020, our platform, Boutique, now has all of the things from all 3 brands. So that was a little interesting. We were already going through, okay, how do I make this work? How do I make my business platform work? And then COVID came too. And so it was very, very interesting though. Because of the merger, my company had done a lot of investing in tech tools, also restructuring our compensation plan to make sure that we were compatible with the FTA and the way they wanted network marketing to be running. All of this before COVID hit. And so when we all had to stay home, everybody paused for a week. Biggest thing in our mind was, can I sell to people when people are so worried about this? I don't know. Should I be selling still? And then we all kind of took a collective breath. And what happened was skincare sales went through the roof. Once people realized I'm at home, it's time for some self-care. Either you're bored because you can no longer do your job, or you're working from home, the stress of e-learning with kids at home, people were really starting to take better care of themselves and doing things to make themselves feel a little bit better. So I know COVID ruined a lot of industries, and my heart goes out to all of those people that were affected. In our industry, we saw some of the biggest sales months that we ever had, lots of new customers. So yeah, it was business-wise, it was a positive effect on us. But again, a really weird year because we were already going through a merger, which sends you all like, okay, how do I do this? How do I do that?
Right.
That's kind of our 2020.
Yeah, cool.
Wow, that is amazing. I'm so glad to hear all that. But one thing I wanted to point out is I'm wearing some of your jewelry that you.
Oh,
It's kind of fun. Some of the makeup I have on. My favorite is the Hydro Lift. It's the smell. I've never liked or just loved the smell of a product, and it's like the moisturizer.
That's good to know because I'm
pretty.
ordering some. I think
I just love it.
It's on your order, Jennifer.
And a little goes a long way, so I have to say.
Yeah. Okay.
But I've got the earrings. I've got I don't know, y'all probably can't see, but like the diamond, they're like diamond looking earrings.
Are those the studs?
Yes.
Sparkle studs? Yes.
Sparkle studs, and then my necklace. So, and it's funny because it's like a little pinch, of this, and it's like makes it pop. So thank you.
You
So I
look
wanted
very
to-
good. It's like,
Absolutely.
I was going to
Well,
say, who dressed
thank
you
you.
today? Who?
You're very Zoom ready.
You're very Zoom
I'm
ready.
ready.
Very Zoom ready.
But I was curious, what are some of your favorite products that you have?
So with this whole merger, one of the things that we've all recognized is you do you. So I always lead off with the clean skincare. That's my passion. That's what I want everyone to experience. So I'll show you a couple of my favorites. This is our Youthful Overnight Concentrate. It is infused with our LSR10 formula, which fights the 10 signs of aging. And it's all based on an ingredient called magnolia bark. And that is something that was discovered by our ever scientists. But this is a nighttime concentrate. We have a regimen. You should always be washing, exfoliating, and moisturizing every time you do your face. And we have regimens that speak to all of that. This is kind of an add-on special product that you put on at night after you're finished with your regimen, but it comes in this little biodegradable ampule. So it's great for travel. I actually am leaving town this afternoon and I have a little container of these to go with me. But this container will dissolve over time. And so it's a good example of how not only are the ingredients viable and environmentally friendly and good for you, but also the containers are as well. And this is made with our #1 best-selling standalone product is called Youthful. It's a face and eye serum. We lovingly call it facelift in a bottle. Makes you feel amazing. Well, everyone loved that formula so much that they came out with this product and an eye cream from the same formula, just highly concentrated for that extra nighttime treatment for your skin. So that's one of my favorites. And then I have this bottle here. This is our overnight facial oil, which is very similar to the oil you'll get when you go to a facial, only clean ingredients. But we are releasing this month, we are releasing a brightening vitamin C serum, which is supposed to be absolutely amazing. And I'm showing you this bottle because the bottle it comes in is exactly like this. So it looks just like that, and you'll open it up and it's a little dropper. So the brightening, most people know, if you know anything about skincare, you've heard of vitamin C. Vitamin C is wonderful for firmness. It promotes your skin's own production of collagen, which is one of the things that we lose as we age. And that's what kind of starts showing the signs of aging. It's also a brightener. So if you have any kind of dark marks or sun damage, age spots, we call them, the vitamin C is what's going to really brighten that. And our formula has 10% vitamin C, and most of the products on the market right now are about 3 to 5%. So in our clinical trials, we were in the 90 percentiles of women who said after 3 weeks they saw change, and after 6 weeks they saw an amazing transformation. So we're really, really excited about that. That's for the skincare. And then I'm not a big fancy jewelry person, but I absolutely love, these are the silver halo sparkle studs. You can see it comes with three actual pairs of earrings, and this little halo here comes off, and you can put it on this one or you can put it on this one. So you get 6 pairs of earrings in one.
Now,
this is the silver one. The one, Jennifer, I think you have is the gold. So first it came out in the gold.
When I did it, was it only the gold was available? Is the silver new?
Yes. Yeah, the silver's new.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And we can add that to your order this afternoon if you'd like to try those.
I knew that was coming.
So,
Stand by after.
Like I love when I'm going out somewhere, I love to wear jewelry. I'm not a big, huge statement fan, and with Zoom, and I got the ear thingy in and everything. These are really just what I've been wearing the entire time that we've kind of not been going anywhere. And I just love that I can change it up with a little bit different color each time. So those are my favorites in the.
Well, now I know there's silver available. I'm like, God,
right. And they're such a pretty blue too. I just love that. That one on the top is so
blue.
Tell me they're
your
blue.
Signature
That's
color.
my favorite color. People. Oh my God.
It almost looks like my birthstone. You and I, we have birthdays in March, right?
I'm in
December.
December,
Okay.
but I love blue. That's and my daughters are the ones I bought nope, I didn't buy anything blue from you. I bought the hand stuff. That's right.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Nicole.
Yay. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I love seeing you when you talk about it, your passion. You could
Yes,
just
get through.
feel the energy. Something these days that I think it's always been out there, but it's even more so after COVID is, and you hear this word a lot, is authentic. And we were wondering, what does authentic mean to you and your business?
Well, I think first and foremost, when you have a service or a product that you're offering, the most authentic you can be is to actually love what you're selling. I think that somebody that just jumps into a sales role because they need a job or they think it's going to make a lot of money, but they're not in love with the product, I think that comes out in the way that you talk about it. And I absolutely love everything that this company has turned out. I'm completely honest when they have a pair of earrings that are just not me and I'm never going to wear them. And I let my people know that too, and that it's okay that we all have unique styles and things. I use all the skincare, the entire line. I do all the steps. I don't recommend everybody has to do all the steps, but I want to have a personal experience that I can share that's truthful. And if I don't like something, you're going to know it. That's one of the most important things, I think. I know, Jennifer, you're really big into, well, Nicole, you are too, with relationship marketing. And I think I try very hard to always be leading with the relationship and not the sales, and just know that the sales will come as long as you are being authentic and being honest and letting people know what you have to offer, but being okay if it's not for them. That's okay. That doesn't ruin our relationship or anything.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, I know how I feel when I use these products. I know how my skin feels. I know how I look on a Zoom call because I'm using these products. And I absolutely love when I get a testimonial from someone that says, oh my gosh, when I woke up this morning and I felt my skin, I had never have felt it so smooth. That just makes me so excited. I've already got the sale. That's not what that's about. That's about, I love hearing that someone woke up feeling just a little bit more pep in their step, feeling put together than they did the day before.
That's awesome. Thank you.
That's cool. And I was going to say, if you didn't say it, I was going to say the fact that you tell people right off the bat, I'm all about the skincare. I mean, I'm not a big jewelry person, but I bought a number of pieces from you and earrings, except for the silver ones, which I think now are kind of like, uh-oh, they're on my list. Okay. Not a bad thing. Not a bad thing. Well, we have in these interviews, actually, Nicole, did you, where does she get her business, I guess is the question. How have you, to the point of joining a networking group, because you've been the leader of our one group, what, for 3 years?
Mm-hmm. I think January was 5.
It's just such a pleasant experience. I think so, but I'm being serious. But how do you, I'm jumping all over your question, Nicole, but how did you typically get your business prior to that? Well, actually, not even prior to that. How do you find new business, Angie? What do you do?
Well, I would have to say in the very beginning, when you have a product or service, a personal product, it started out with friends and family. And when I jumped from one business to the other, I had a pretty sizable customer base, and I just let them all know, hey, I'm doing this over here. And I would say about half of them jumped in and started using the Ever regimen because I recommended it to them. So that's kind of where it started. But obviously, we're in networking for a reason, because it's all about meeting new people all the time, making new friends, finding new people to bless with the product or service that you have. And so the networking groups are huge, and I hop on as many networking one-to-ones as I can. And again, it all goes back to, every time I do a one-to-one, I'm not going to have a sale. It's not really about the sale. It's just about, I actually love hearing people's stories. Before I did my business 5.5 years ago, I was a stay-home mom for 18 years. And I'm just fascinated with all the different careers and the different, like, how, you're an insurance agent now. What were you before? What made you decide that you wanted to be an insurance agent? What's your favorite? I feel like I really enjoy hearing about all of that. And maybe it's because I was stuck in a home raising kids for so long. It's like this whole new world is opened up,
Yeah.
and I get to hear about all this stuff that people have been doing the last 20 years. So that's part of the networking. I also, because my team has such great leadership training. They talk about just online networking. So going to a Facebook group of something you enjoy. For instance, I've been on a health journey through Weight Watchers for the last probably 6 years, 7 years. And so I'm in a number of Facebook groups just with those of us who are trying to stay on Weight Watcher plan, and sharing recipes and hacks that we found in the store that you'd never believe were 0 points, and that
Right.
sort of thing.
Sure.
And that you meet people, you start having a relationship, and eventually you're asking each other, so what do you do? And then I'm able to share and find out if they have an interest in clean skincare or some sparkle stud earrings.
Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. Well, I guess I would just say, you said it. You said it so many times in there. I think that's the thing. People, they'll eventually get around to what do you do. We certainly want to know what people do, but we want to know who you are and why you do what you do.
Right.
What
Yeah.
drives you. And then because there are people that don't really care, they're selling, and it's all about sales. It's not, am I actually serving somebody? Or like you said, when I wrote down, the things that make you excited is when you've already sold it, but you hear somebody say, I've never had my skin feel so good, or, those kind of things. Those are the, and if you didn't say stuff like that, I'd say, Nicole, I'm not sure she was a good interview. No, I'm just kidding. I would be questioning though, because I know you work really hard at what you do. So you must, I think most of us would say, you don't do this because you make a noodle of money. The money will come more than likely if you're doing what you're really supposed to be doing, right? If you're
Yep.
getting fulfilled, the success will come on the other side, whether that's money or whatever. Okay, so I'm going to get back to the real quick, not real quick, but tell us, you have a story about the To the Rescue or the TTR networking, maybe something. I mean, I've already said, and we've kind of drug it out of you. We think you've been in for 5 years. You lead a group. So that is not easy. I mean, it is every week you have a time and day you have to be there. Anything that came from that, it doesn't have to even be about that, but a networking story. I just think that sometimes people who are outside the networking world don't understand, why would people do that? They
Right.
just don't get it. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, as I said, when I started my business, I still had a little one at home. And so I started investigating, okay, I have this business now. I need to get out and start sharing it. And one way to do that is these networking groups. And I met you, Jennifer, at the Small Business Expo at the Ritz. And we talked, and I thought, a couple things. One, because my business was network marketing, I recognized that not all of the professionals out there give that much credibility. And so
Yeah.
I thought, it might be best if I start my own group. Not only will that give me some credibility, hey, I'm leading this group and I've invited you to come and take a look, but also help me take that stay-home mom hat off and get the professional learning to be a leader on. And I tell you, it wasn't easy. It was a lot of stress every time I went to the meeting. And what if there's no conversation? What am I going to talk about? So it's been a really great personal development. I did have to wait after we met until Kelsey was in kindergarten so that I could commit to that weekly. But yeah, that's been probably one of the biggest professional development pieces that I've done over the last 5 years.
Cool.
And then, yeah, what else? I wrote something else down here. Oh no, just the professional development. I have to say too, and this kind of goes into the next question. I have a team. Currently, I have a team of about 10 ladies who work with me on my Ever team. 3 of those I was introduced to through my TTR relationships. And so none of them are actual members of TTR. They came from either a visitor or a member who introduced me. My favorite story is our Andrea Libros was a member of our TTR group. Uptown Connectors is the one that I lead. She is a life coach, and she actually had a very successful network marketing business that she walked away from to become a coach. And she's a fantastic coach. And we got to watch her set up her business from day one. Like, she didn't have any clients when she first started meeting with us. So that was really fun. She started doing these workshops that were just to pull women together, kind of teach them her way of walking through. Anyway, I won't tell you all about how her business was, but I attended these workshops and I got a lot of great nuggets from it. But I also got to meet all the women in the room.
Right.
And one of these women that I met early on, first or second workshop that I went to, is Katie Robinson. And Katie and I hit it off. She's become a dear friend to me. She's on my Ever team, and we just enjoy coming up with new ways to introduce our love of the Ever products together. And had I never been in TTR, I wouldn't have met Andrea. I wouldn't have been able to go to these workshops, and I may never have met Katie. So that's just one of several stories of how my business has benefited and my relationships have benefited from being part of TTR.
Yeah. Well, that's great. That's great. Well, she answered the question. I don't even have to ask the question. So take it away, Nicole.
Well, thank you for sharing the story. And it's just such a small world, how one thing you do this and then maybe if you didn't do this, then this wouldn't have happened. You just got to get out there and just try it. And oh my gosh.
Exactly.
Something that's really neat and sets us apart, sets To the Rescue Networking apart, is our love to help and serve our community with nonprofits. And I was just wondering, what nonprofits are you supporting personally or in your group? If what are you guys passionate about?
So it was kind of funny when I jumped out of the stay-home mom role and I heard people talking about supporting their favorite nonprofits. And I thought, what's my favorite nonprofit? I don't know. The only charity I've been supporting is the 6 people that live underneath my roof, So it was kind of time to go on a quest and find, what is it? And I didn't find one. I'll be very honest with you. What I found was the Exchange Club. The Exchange Club is our local club that's part of the National Exchange. And they, as a national organization, they support veterans, putting homeless veterans into homes, and also initiatives preventing child abuse. And so that's kind of their big national focus. But on a local level, each club gets to support whoever they want. So our whole mission, and this is the second year that I'm in the president's role of the Exchange Club of Hamilton County, our entire presence is simply to fundraise. So we do a number of different fundraisers, whether it's selling a product and giving a portion of the sales to a nonprofit, or hosting an event. We did a trivia night for Best Buddies out at Daniel's Vineyards. So we can do it in a lot of different ways, but it's just a really great group. We have about 25 members. Half of them are retirees, and they love the twice a month lunches where they get to come out and hang out. And the other half are business people in the community that want to give back, and we just have a good time. So in this way, I haven't had to pick just that one charity that I'm super passionate about, but I get to spread the finances and the time and the volunteer efforts to many different things. And because of my role with them, I'm always listening for another nonprofit that needs help. And then typically we would have them come in and speak, tell us about what you do and how we can help, and then decide as a group, is this a financial thing? Is this, do we want to go and volunteer? We even during COVID, actually just a couple months ago, we went and helped sort the kids' coats for the donations for that organization in downtown Carmel. So that's kind of where I landed. Instead of choosing one, I get to choose all of them.
I think that's awesome.
So cool.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, so we've learned so much about you. How can we find you? How can we get in contact with you for the services that you offer?
So I do a lot of my business on Facebook, and my name on Facebook is Angie McHale. And I mean, you want me to give my email? Is that helpful?
Yeah, whatever information you want, and then we'll tell you something really cool that we learned with our 30-second episode today, and like 10 episodes ago we learned something. It's kind of funny, but I don't know if Jennifer knows where I'm going. But yes, please, specific, and then we'll.
Okay. My email is just Angie McHale, all one word, .ever, EVER, @gmail.com.
That is so awesome. One of our guests said, TTR Networking website.
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
you can find me there as well.
Oh, yeah.
We're like,
got
oh my
that
gosh,
too.
that's right.
You got that too.
But when you go to the TTR, when our audience goes, you go, it's ttrnetworking.com, and then you would go to networking and groups, and Angie specifically is in the Uptown Connectors. So you'll see her beautiful picture, little bio, and then her contact info. So yay.
Yes, and I am going to say, we always like to give our guests kind of the opportunity to share a final thought with us. So Angie, you've done a great job, for sure.
Thank you.
But do you have like a final thought that you can leave us with in these crazy times? And, how can...
I think the biggest thing that I would encourage people to do is not be afraid to change something that you're doing, whether that's a career field or like I stressed a lot about making the change, especially because I was going with a competitor. I wasn't hanging up the skincare hat and going into a completely different industry. I thought, what are people going to think? What are my customers going to think? Because I've been pushing this skincare for 4 years and you've been using it, and all of a sudden I'm saying this is better. And, I really worried about that. But in the end, it didn't happen the way that I thought. Some people are still using the old brand, and that's totally fine. Some of them are my friends, and that's totally fine. They love what it's doing for their skin. They're not jumping on the clean bandwagon, and that's their personal decision. But I really worried about what others were going to think. And as it turned out, for me personally, it was the best decision I ever made. Not that I didn't have wonderful friendships in that, but the cohesiveness of the team spirit that I'm with now, the results of the skincare. I have the same size business after 1 year with Ever as I had built after 4 years with the other brand. So I knew that, at least for me, it was the right decision to make. And had I not had a couple close friends in the industry counseling me and telling me, yes, this is going to be okay, I don't know if I would have jumped. So if anybody's ever in that position and wondering, don't be afraid to make a change.
Ooh, I like
Love
that.
that. Thank you. So inspiring.
Yeah, that is good. She and if she hadn't said some of that, I remember I said something recently, I don't know, it was in the mastermind or something, and Angie's in that group, and I said, Angie made a big change a couple of years ago, and we took us, but you did introduce it. You even asked your members of your group, I was there,
Yep.
I don't know if you asked them what they thought, but you shared with them why you were doing it. And I think that everybody knew you well enough to trust you. I mean, and that's part of the networking world. I mean, we can all sell. I know the products are good because I buy them. I don't want to sound like that. Products aren't you. We want to know that we can trust you. And if you think it's good, hey, but we got to get to know you first. So that's what networking is all about. So thank you. Don't be afraid to change. So we're going to get this show up pretty quickly because I think that's something that everybody needs to hear. So let's close it up, Nicole. Take it away.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Angie, for being with us today and sharing. And we want to thank our audience. And until next time, may all your days be filled with authenticity. Bye, guys.
Yeah.